Have you ever wished your mind would simply be quiet, even for a single moment? You lie in bed, exhausted, yet your thoughts refuse to rest. A conversation from months ago suddenly returns. A mistake you cannot change plays over and over. You wonder if you said the wrong thing, made the wrong choice, or lost someone who was meant to stay. The harder you try to stop thinking, the louder your mind becomes. According to the Buddha, the greatest burden is not the thoughts themselves, but the way we cling to them. In this video, you will discover 5 Buddhist teachings that can help you stop overthinking, calm your mind, and finally begin living with genuine inner peace. Most people believe overthinking begins because life is complicated. We blame difficult relationships, painful memories, uncertain futures, or mistakes we wish we could erase. But the Buddha revealed a deeper truth. The real source of suffering is rarely the event itself. It is the mind's refusal to let the event end. Think about the last thing you couldn't stop thinking about. Was it truly happening in this moment, or was your mind replaying it again and again? Perhaps you have had the same conversation hundreds of times inside your head, searching for the perfect answer that never came. Perhaps you keep imagining different endings, believing that if you think long enough, the pain will finally disappear. Yet it never does. Why? Because the mind mistakes thinking for solving. It believes every new thought brings you closer to peace, when in reality, it often pulls you deeper into anxiety. The more you chase certainty, the more uncertainty you create. The Buddha taught that suffering grows when we cling to what has already changed, or try to control what has never been ours to control. Overthinking is not proof that you care more. It is often a sign that your mind has become trapped between a past it cannot change and a future it cannot predict. Understanding this changes everything. You no longer ask, "How do I stop thinking?" Instead, you begin asking a far more powerful question. Why is my mind holding on so tightly? That question marks the true beginning of freedom. And the first Buddhist teaching will help you discover the answer. Before we try to quiet the mind, we must first understand why it refuses to be quiet. The Buddha taught that every form of suffering has a cause. Overthinking is no exception. It does not appear because you are weak or because your life is unusually difficult. It appears because the mind becomes attached to its own stories. Imagine receiving a short reply from someone you care about. Within seconds, your mind begins creating explanations. Maybe they're upset with me. Maybe I said something wrong. Maybe they're losing interest. None of these conclusions are facts. They are simply thoughts. Yet before long, those thoughts become emotions. The emotions become anxiety. Anxiety creates even more thoughts, and suddenly you are trapped in a cycle that seems impossible to escape. This is why the Buddha's first teaching is so powerful. Not every thought deserves to be believed. The mind is like a storyteller. Its job is to predict, analyze, compare, and protect you from danger. That ability has helped humanity survive for thousands of years. But the same mind cannot always distinguish between a real threat and an imagined one. A memory from years ago can make your heart race as if it were happening today. A fear about tomorrow can steal your peace before tomorrow even arrives. The Buddha never asked us to stop thinking completely. Instead, he encouraged us to become aware of our thoughts without becoming prisoners of them. There is a profound difference between saying, "I will never be happy again," and saying, "My mind is producing the thought that I will never be happy again." That single shift creates space between you and your thinking. In that space, wisdom begins to grow. So the next time your mind tells you that you are not good enough, that everything will go wrong, or that your future is already decided, pause for a moment, take one slow breath, and ask yourself, is this the truth? Or is it simply another story my mind is telling me? That simple question has the power to interrupt the cycle of overthinking before it takes control. If this teaching speaks to your heart, leave a 1-inch the comments. Let it be a quiet promise to yourself that from today onward, you will observe your thoughts instead of believing every one of them. If the first teaching showed you that not every thought is true, The second teaching reveals something even more important. The mind overthinks because it desperately wants certainty. Pay close attention to the questions your mind asks every day. They often begin with the same two words. What if? What if I fail? What if they never forgive me? What if I made the wrong decision? What if tomorrow is worse than today? At first, these questions seem responsible. They make you feel as though you are preparing for the future. But according to the Buddha, they often become invisible chains. Instead of helping you solve problems, they pull your attention away from the only moment where life actually exists, the present. The Buddha taught that everything in this world is governed by impermanence. People change, circumstances change, emotions change. Even the person you are today is different from the person you were a year ago. Yet the mind keeps demanding certainty from a world that has never promised it. Imagine standing beside a river and trying to stop the current with your hands. No matter how hard you try, the water continues to flow. Life works in exactly the same way. The more you struggle to control every outcome, the more exhausted you become. Peace does not come from controlling the river. It comes from learning how to move with it. This is why the Buddha never taught blind optimism. He taught wise acceptance. Acceptance does not mean giving up on your dreams or refusing to improve your life. It simply means recognizing the difference between what you can influence and what you cannot. You can choose your actions, your words, and your attitude, but you cannot control every opinion, every relationship, every opportunity, or every outcome. When you stop carrying burdens that were never yours to carry, your mind begins to grow lighter. So the next time overthinking pulls you into endless what-if questions, gently return to one simple reminder. I cannot control everything, but I can choose how I meet this moment. That single realization is the beginning of genuine inner peace. If the second teaching showed that life can never be completely controlled, the third teaching invites you to look inward and ask a far more important question. What are you truly holding on to? Most people believe they suffer because they lost someone they loved, missed an opportunity, or watched an important chapter of their lives come to an end. But the Buddha encouraged us to look beneath the surface. Very often we are not attached to the person, the place, or the event itself. We are attached to the feelings they gave us, the future we imagined, and the identity we built around them. Think about someone you still cannot stop thinking about. Are you really missing only that person? Or do you miss the comfort of being understood, the security of knowing someone cared, or the hope you once felt about the future? Sometimes what hurts the most is not the goodbye itself. It is realizing that the version of yourself who felt safe, loved, and certain no longer exists in the same way. This is where overthinking becomes a trap. The mind begins replaying old conversations, searching for hidden meanings, imagining different endings, and asking endless questions that can never be answered. It believes that if it thinks long enough, it will eventually find peace. Yet every new thought only strengthens the attachment, making it even harder to let go. The Buddha compared attachment to holding a handful of dry sand. If your hand remains open, the sand rests gently in your palm. But if you squeeze it tightly because you fear losing it, the grains begin slipping through your fingers. The harder you try to keep them, the faster they disappear. Our minds behave in exactly the same way. The tighter we cling to memories, expectations, and people, the more suffering we create for ourselves. Letting go does not mean forgetting the past or pretending your love was never real. It does not mean denying your pain or forcing yourself to stop caring overnight. Instead, it means accepting that everything in life follows the law of impermanence. Relationships change. Circumstances change. Even your own thoughts and emotions change from one moment to the next. Trying to freeze life at its happiest moment is like trying to stop the seasons from changing. When you finally stop asking yesterday to become today again, something quietly begins to change inside you. Your mind no longer spends all its energy resisting reality. You begin to appreciate beautiful memories without becoming imprisoned by them. You can be grateful for what once existed without demanding that it return. That is the freedom the Buddha wanted us to discover. Peace does not appear because life gives us everything we want. It appears when we stop clinging to what life has already asked us to release and gently open our hearts to the present moment. If the third teaching helped you loosen your attachment to the past, the fourth teaching will help you stop fearing the future. The Buddha taught that much of our suffering comes from trying to control what has never been ours to control. Imagine a young teacher named Dev who lives in Rishikesh, a peaceful town nestled in the foothills of the Himalayas. Every morning he watched the sunrise over the Ganges before beginning his day. Although the landscape was calm, his mind was anything but peaceful. He worried constantly about his career, his family, and whether every decision he made would lead to success or failure. Even on beautiful mornings, he could not enjoy the present because he was busy trying to predict tomorrow. One day, an elderly monk noticed Dev staring at the fast-moving river. The monk picked up a dry leaf and gently placed it on the water. Neither of them spoke as they watched the current carry it away. Finally, the monk asked, "Did the leaf fight the river?" Dev quietly replied, "No." The monk smiled. "Then why are you fighting the current of your own life?" Those simple words changed something inside him. Dev realized he had spent years exhausting himself by trying to control outcomes that had never belonged to him. He could choose to work, honestly, love, sincerely, and act wisely, but he could never force life to unfold exactly as he wished. This is one of the Buddha's greatest lessons. Peace begins when we clearly separate what we can control from what we cannot. You can control your actions, your attitude, your effort, and the kindness you offer each day. But you cannot control another person's choices, the passing of time, unexpected change, or every result that follows your efforts. Acceptance is not weakness. It is not giving up on life. It is having the wisdom to stop wasting your energy fighting reality. Once you stop carrying burdens that were never yours, your mind becomes lighter, your heart becomes calmer, and your attention returns to the only place where peace can truly exist, the present moment. If you have ever visited Rishikesh or hope to walk along the Ganges there one day, write Rishikesh in the comments. Let it remind you that life, like a river, is always moving forward. The more gently you flow with it, the more peacefully you will live. If the previous 4 teachings have helped you understand why overthinking begins, the Buddha's 5th teaching reveals how to bring it to an end. It is a lesson that sounds simple, yet it has the power to transform the way you experience every moment of your life. The Buddha taught that we cannot always choose what happens to us, but we can gradually learn to choose how we respond. That single realization separates a peaceful mind from a restless one. Imagine 2 people facing exactly the same situation. Both lose an important opportunity. Both feel disappointed. The first person immediately believes, "My future is ruined. I will never recover from this." The second person also feels pain, but instead of becoming trapped by the thought, quietly says, "This hurts, but this moment does not define my entire life." The event is identical, the suffering is not. Overthinking often convinces us that reacting immediately will protect us. It tells us to replay every conversation, analyze every mistake, and prepare for every possible disaster. Yet the more we react without awareness, the more power we give to fear. The Buddha encouraged his followers to create a small pause before every reaction. Within that pause lies wisdom. Imagine a clear mountain lake high in the Himalayas. When the water is stirred by strong winds, the surface becomes cloudy, making it impossible to see beneath it. But when the wind settles, the water naturally becomes clear again. Nothing needs to be forced. It simply returns to its original nature. Your mind is no different. Thoughts will appear, emotions will arise, fear will visit, sadness will come and go. But none of these experiences are permanent. They become overwhelming only when we immediately identify with them and believe they are who we are. The next time anxiety begins to pull you into another cycle of overthinking, try this simple practice taught through mindfulness. Pause. Take one slow breath. Feel your feet touching the ground. Notice your breathing without trying to change it. Observe the thought that has appeared, then gently ask yourself, Is this thought asking me to react, or inviting me to understand? That single question interrupts the automatic habit that has controlled the mind for so long. Little by little, something remarkable begins to happen. The gap between the thought and your reaction becomes wider. In that space, fear loses its strength, anger softens, worry no longer controls every decision. You begin responding with clarity instead of panic. This is why the Buddha never promised a life without sadness, uncertainty, or loss. Such a promise would go against the nature of existence itself. Instead, he showed us that true freedom comes when external events no longer dictate the condition of our inner world. Perhaps peace is not waiting somewhere in the future after every problem has disappeared. Perhaps peace is created in this very moment, every time you choose awareness instead of fear, acceptance instead of resistance, and wisdom instead of endless overthinking. If today's 5 Buddhist teachings have helped you see your own mind more clearly, please take a moment to like this video. Your support allows these timeless teachings to reach people around the world who are quietly struggling with anxiety, emotional exhaustion, and endless overthinking. Together we can remind one another that a peaceful mind is not a gift given to a fortunate few. It is a practice that anyone can begin, one mindful breath at a time. By now you may have realized that overthinking was never your real enemy. The real struggle has always been believing that every thought deserves your attention. Throughout this journey, the Buddha's teachings have gently shown us another way to live. The first teaching reminded us that a thought is not the truth. Thoughts appear, change, and disappear, just like clouds passing across the sky. You are the one observing them, not the thoughts themselves. The second teaching revealed that the mind constantly searches for certainty in a world that is always changing. The more we demand guarantees from life, the more restless we become. Peace begins the moment we stop asking tomorrow to promise us something it never could. The third teaching showed us that attachment is often hidden beneath our overthinking. We are not always holding on to people or situations. More often we are holding on to the feelings, expectations, and stories connected to them. Once we loosen that grip, the mind naturally becomes lighter. The fourth teaching helped us separate what belongs within our control from what does not. We cannot command the past to return, nor can we force the future to unfold exactly as we wish. But we can always choose our next thought, our next action, and our next breath. Finally, the fifth teaching reminded us that freedom is found in our response, not in our circumstances. Every time we pause before reacting, every time we breathe instead of panic, and every time we choose awareness instead of fear, we take another step toward lasting inner peace. Perhaps your life will not look completely different when this video ends. There may still be challenges waiting tomorrow. There may still be unexpected disappointments, difficult conversations, or moments when your mind tries to pull you back into old habits. But something important has already changed. Now you know that you do not have to follow every thought. You do not have to solve every uncertainty. You do not have to carry every burden your mind creates. You have another choice. You can pause. You can breathe. You can return to the present moment. That is where peace has been waiting all along. If today's message has helped you see your own mind with greater compassion, please share in the comments. Which of the 5 Buddhist teachings spoke to your heart the most? Was it learning that thoughts are not always true? Letting go of attachment, accepting what you cannot control, or choosing your response instead of your fear? Your answer may encourage someone else who is walking the same path. And if this journey has brought even a little more calm into your day, don't forget to subscribe to Healing Journey Buddhist Meditation. Together, we will continue exploring timeless Buddhist wisdom and learning how to live with a quieter mind, a lighter heart, and a deeper sense of inner peace. As we reach the end of today's journey, take a quiet moment and reflect on how far your mind has already traveled. Perhaps you began this video feeling exhausted by endless thoughts that never seem to stop. Perhaps your mind was searching for certainty, replaying old memories, worrying about tomorrow, or carrying burdens that were never yours to hold. But now you have seen these struggles through the eyes of the Buddha. You have discovered that not every thought deserves your attention. You have learned that attachment quietly feeds overthinking. You have seen that life becomes lighter when you stop trying to control what has always been beyond your control. And most importantly, you have discovered that true peace does not arrive when every problem disappears. It appears the moment you stop allowing your thoughts to decide who you are. There will still be difficult days. There will still be moments when fear knocks at the door of your mind. Some mornings old habits may return, tempting you to overanalyze every conversation, every mistake, and every uncertainty. When that happens, don't judge yourself. Simply remember today's teachings. Pause. Take one slow breath. Return to the present moment. That single breath may seem small, but it has the power to interrupt years of unconscious thinking. Every time you choose awareness instead of automatic reaction, you are strengthening a new way of living. Little by little, your mind becomes less restless, your heart becomes more open, and peace begins to feel less like a distant destination and more like your natural state. The Buddha once showed that enlightenment is not found by escaping life, but by seeing life clearly. The same noisy world will still exist around you. Challenges will still come and go. Yet when your mind is no longer trapped by fear, those same challenges lose the power to steal your peace. If today's 5 Buddhist teachings have brought you even a little comfort, please subscribe to Healing Journey Buddhist Meditation. Every week, we share timeless Buddhist wisdom to help you overcome anxiety, release emotional suffering, and build lasting inner peace, one teaching at a time. And your journey doesn't end here. Right now, another video is waiting for you on the screen. If you want to learn how to remain calm during life's greatest challenges and develop unshakable inner strength through Buddhist wisdom, click that video now and continue walking this path with us. Until we meet again, may your mind become quieter than your fears, your heart become lighter than your burdens, and may every step you take bring you closer to the peace that has always lived within you. Thank you for being here, and we'll see you in the next video.